Rivalries reignited.
Historic heavyweights.
The spiciest of derbies.
New kids on the block.
The best leagues in the land are back.
Tom Hitchcock crashes, Tom Hitchcock goes, Tom Hitchcock scores! Leaving it all out there for the fans.
A steamroller has just charged through.
Dynasty, destiny, drama. Your Women's National League Cup champions.
Future stars set to shine.
Bill Rigg, who's been on fire all season.
Champagne rugby? Look no further.
To score one of the most memorable tries.
Durham University are Bucks Super Rugby League champions.
But the truth is, in this league, it's anyone's on the day.
And it's full time. It is 6 wins from 6 for Swansea.
Entertainment guaranteed.
Bullard through! Bullard wins it for Exeter at the death!
Bucks Super Rugby.
Women's National League.
Bucks Rugby is back.
Prynam da a croeso I Cyncoed campus a Met Cardiff and Nerben Edinburgh. Afternoon everyone and welcome to Cyncoed campus. It's a Bucks Rugby doubleheader today and we're starting off in the Women's National League where Cardiff Met are taking on Edinburgh. Top of the table Edinburgh. It's certainly going to be a fierce encounter today, and if you're not excited enough by that and the prospect of a Three Nations clash today, then check out this little video. And I'm not sure about you, but I am definitely excited about what we've got in store for us this afternoon. And I can't enjoy this spectacle on my own. I need 2 Bucks rugby experts with me. None other than World Rugby Sevens commentator and star, Mr. London Irish himself, Joe Burns, who come all the way down from London. I'm so thankful for that. Thank you so much for joining me. And Kira Reeves, a member of our women's first team, unfortunately injured today. How are you feeling though with it? Is it coming along, the injury?
Yeah, I've got 2 weeks left of my return to play, and then I should be back for Durham in 2 weeks.
Amazing. Now, Joe, talk to me. Give me a quick feeling about this fixture. It's a massive day for either side, isn't it?
Yeah, huge. I mean, massive for Cardiff Met. First double header here at Cyncoed in Bucks history, which is awesome. It's a testament to the growth of the WNL alongside BSR. And I know for Met, it's a pretty big game coming off the back of the result against Loughborough last week. And welcoming one of the best sides there is. They're unlucky losers in the final last year, Edinburgh. So much Scottish international pedigree in there as well. So it promises to be a massive encounter.
Now, Kira, talk to me about it from a player perspective. It must be an absolute spectacle to be out in the Coliseum of Cyncoed Rugby 1 because you're so used to playing on the 3G pitch. Do you prefer the grass turf here?
Yeah, but nothing beats playing on Rugby 1. It's one of the best facilities, we think. We go to every other team and they've got like rubbish 4G, and we've got this and we're so lucky to have it.
Well, it's not just us 3 here that are super excited about this fixture. Our reporter Meg Joyce has been able to catch up with both head coaches ahead of this fixture.
So Reece, you're fairly new to the job. How are you finding it so far?
Being honest, it's been quite challenging. I think moving from the men's programme to the women's programme, it's just getting used to that different character and different personalities, and from a women's perspective they like to know the details of things, so they ask a lot of questions, they ask to know the reason why, so it keeps us on our toes as coaches, but overall I'm really enjoying it and hopefully get a win today now.
And what do you know about Edinburgh? How are you feeling for this afternoon?
So it was actually my first game in charge after Lisa went on maternity leave. Going away to Edinburgh always a tough place to go. Big pack forwards, well organised in terms of their shape and how they play within phase play. They had a good 12 who played against us last game. She came back from the Scotland World Cup, so she's not playing today sadly, but hopefully a good opportunity for us to get one over them.
And just looking at the starting lineup for today, could you explain your choices a little?
Yeah, so we have Welsh development girls coming back in for the first time. So Rosie Carr, Katie Carr, Fiona Owens, Seren, Singleton and Danai on the wing. So they've come back and strengthened us. We've also gone for different combinations. So for example, the back rowers will probably see EC on the bench for the first time of the season. But that is purely to see different combinations for Fionn, Jess Rogers and Ruby to work together, just to be more aggressive in the contact area and also forward thinking. We also have Em Griffiths starting out today for the first time this year, and again she played their second half against Loughborough and she went well, so we'll go with that combination again. And with Tilly Smale coming in at fullback, she's signed with Bristol Bears, so that'll be her first start at the one, so really interesting to see what she brings as well.
How are you feeling about the game this afternoon? What do you think that you can do?
We're excited. We always enjoy coming down to Cardiff. Battle of the Celts is always a good battle. So yeah, I think today's going to be physical. It always is against Cardiff Met, but hopefully quite exciting as well. Both teams, whilst being physical, also like to try and move the ball. So I think it hopefully will be an exciting game for everyone today.
So both you and the team had to travel quite a distance to get down here. How do you find that, and how did the team sort of relax and refocus after such long travelling days?
Yeah, we're used to it now. You know, all our away games are either in England or in Wales. So the closest for us is Durham, which is about 2.5 hours. So we're used to jumping on a flight on a Tuesday evening, getting down, getting some dinner, getting a good night's sleep, getting up and then focusing on the game. So yeah, it's just the norm for us now. We're used to it. We do it 5 times a season.
And finally, what were your goals at the beginning of the season, and have they changed much?
No, we try not to put too much emphasis on like sort of the results, and more about the development of the players. But we're always trying to strive for the best, and you know, we finished 4th last season in the league, so we're currently sitting 2nd, so hopefully we can better that 4th place, and then we'll look towards the championship from there. And you know, we're lucky enough to get to the final last year at 6 Ways, so we'd love to replicate that, but some real fierce competition this year. It's probably one of the closest Bucks seasons I think I've been involved in.
Now, Joe, it's been 63 days since Cardiff Met last played a home fixture here on Cyncoed campus. What do you think they're feeling going into this fixture? Will they be determined to get a statement win today?
I mean, look, you use the word Coliseum, and Cardiff Met is renowned for being a fortress in terms of coming to Cyncoed, and you've got the vociferous support of the ultras, and I know that the Student Union have put in a massive effort to make this a huge dual event for the women and the men. So you got that thrown in, and Met, I think you haven't won since mid-November in the season, and there's obviously been a huge absence as well of WNL and Bucks Super Rugby as well, with the Christmas break and everything. So everyone's going to be charged up. Nothing beats playing in front of your home crowd. So I feel that that's going to inspire the Archers women to find that extra gear in their play today.
Absolutely. And Kira, as a squad yourselves, you must have been super excited about this fixture after what's kind of been a bit of a roller coaster of a year, as well as having Reece Roberts come in as an interim head coach now after Lisa left to go and have her baby. How has it been for you guys as a playing group?
Yeah, we've had to roll with the punches that the season has given us, but coming off a tough loss at Loughborough, but we're ready to bring this to Edinburgh and see what they can give us.
Now, going across to the Edinburgh camp now, Joe, they are pushing that top end of the table. Are they Hartpury's biggest threat right now?
I think undoubtedly. I think by their own admission they were very disappointed in the result against Hartpury last week, and it does really sort of put the league title race firmly in Hartpury's hands. They've got a big fixture against Exeter which kicks off an hour before this one. They're going to be supercharged to get 5 match bonus points and keep applying that pressure, and also they're going to know that they've got a tough contest because you push them all the way up in Edinburgh. It's like 10 points between you in that match, so they know that you can bring the noise as well.
Yeah, we're just excited to see what they can bring. Scotland have poached a couple of their players for their development side, so we're looking forward to them playing without Meryl Smith for once. And
well, I mean,
she's
so
not
if they've lost key players now, Kira, what sort of game are we going to expect? Is it going to be a physical one? Are Edinburgh a particularly physical side? Are they more tactical? Do they like to move the ball? Give us an insight to what it's like on that green grass.
Edinburgh love to bring it wide. Their wingers are world class up there. They are able to just run rings around us, it seemed in the first match, but we've been working on this. Our analysis is going well. I think we've got some exciting girls in there.
Now, it's not just bragging rights that are up for stake here this evening, or this afternoon, sorry, I should say. It's also a chance to get one step closer to the Bucks rugby final, which this year will be up in North London at Saracens Stonex Stadium.
Every game, every minute does not matter. It is the here and now, and that's why we love cup final rugby.
Long over the top to his namesake.
Romajeng stepping away, drives towards the line.
Hartbury, who are the queens of Bucks women's rugby.
The green machine explodes. Bucks Super Rugby bleeds green.
The try is given.
Now is this space on the left-hand side. Beautiful ball, great finish. Rydian Williams.
Here goes Larry Davis, dances inside, frees herself and drops it down to level the score.
Now, much like both playing squads here today, I definitely want to be at that Bucks rugby final. I'm not sure about you, Kira, but I am certainly revved up to get there, because what a stadium for it to be at. But Joe, speaking of teams that might be playing at the Stonex Stadium, we've got the Saracens women's in the Allianz Premier 15s. We've got some Cardiff Met alumni there, Jazz Joyce and Larry Norkett, who play in the Allianz Premier 15s for Bristol and Worcester respectively. Would we ever see the Allianz Premier 15s potentially open their doors to a Welsh side, potentially to help grow the professional women's game? It's something that the men's side of the game possibly fell short of, really.
Whoa, we're answering the big questions here down at Rugby 1. I mean, look, the Premier 15s is unbelievable competition. I think you can see the evolution of the women's game in England and some of the rock star players who have come from that, and also that we saw in action at the World Cup. I know there's a lot of Welsh players. Speaking of rock stars, Jazz Joyce, I mean, how unreal is she at rugby? I don't know what the logistics are of it all, but, you know, Welsh and English and Celtic rivalry is long-standing in rugby, and if that were to be introduced, I think that would just add a wonderful bit of fire to the competition, as you said, potentially a further development tool for women's rugby in Wales.
Absolutely. Right, I'm going to let you skedaddle upstairs to your little commentary booth. Enjoy the game, Joe, and I'm just going to get one final word from you, Kira, before we enjoy the game here ourselves. Do you desperately want to play at that Stonex Stadium? How much does it mean to you to have access to a game like that for your big final?
That would be the dream for our end of our season, I think. Top it off, cherry on top.
Amazing. And now we are going to head up to the commentary gantry, where Griff Ayerig and Joe Burns will be there waiting for us to take us through this Celtic encounter. I think we're off air. Yeah, we're off, aren't we? Cool.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for that. That was amazing.
No problem.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, fun.
Right, we'll have you again in future then.
A short hop and a skip up the steps to this fabulous purpose-built gantry and media centre here at Cardiff Met to showcase the rugby talents of the men. But first, the women today on this double header at Rugby 1. Just in time, just about in time for kick-off, Griff.
Just about, yeah. Well, you were speaking quite elegantly on the TV, if I must say.
Ah, that's very, very kind of you, very kind of you. It's rare that I'm in that position, actually, of being interviewed, so a bit of an alien feel for me, but nice to be chatting all things WNL and Bucks. And nice for the Cardiff Met supporters to be seeing their girls on the 22 of Edinburgh early in this game. Edinburgh playing right to left in red, not their traditional garb of deep dark green. But it's a colour jersey that they've found some big results in days gone by. That big win against Durham at the back end of last season, but it's all about Cardiff Met right now, and all about the opening score from the returning Fionn Owen. All power, all pace, and barely an Edinburgh fingertip on her. First blood to the Archers.
A superb try there from the base of the scrum. An excellent pick up, a clean scrum as well. Cardiff Met showing their pack dominance so far in the early seconds of this match, really. So a big, big statement made here from the Maroon.
Well, it all opened up for the Wales 7-star. Just the parting of the Scottish defence. And there in my words just there. There's the giveaway. Well, sevens. A powerful and destructive force, Fionn Owen, but with pace to boot. And a chance to turn 5 to 7 with barely 3 minutes on the clock. No extras to be added by M. Griffiths, but the perfect start for Cardiff Met's women.
She blended in nicely there with the try line. A new look here for Rugby 1, but hopefully a lucky look. And hopefully one we'll be seeing a lot throughout this game, Joe.
Or Edinburgh shocked early, but plenty more rugby in this match. And these two met up in Scotland. It was a tight affair. Edinburgh coming out 31-22 victors eventually. Abby Bruce getting lucky, having allowed the ball to bounce. Sarah Denham, the captain, injured against Met in that Edinburgh clash and returning just this January. Key to leading and driving and guiding the team around the field. And Edinburgh, they want to play quickly through Bruce, who takes us across the halfway line. Denham directing, looking for her number 6, Fabrizio. Denham just beginning to find her rhythm in that first receiver role, but that's powerful defence on Eva Donaldson. More powerful carrying this time from Kira McCulloch. Met defence holding strong as a lasso tackle from Natalia Barnes round the ankles stops Edinburgh in their tracks, and they still can't make it across the halfway line, almost stripped in the tackle. Fionn Owen up fast and finding just enough to bring her opposite number down. And just as Met think they're rewarded for that defensive pressure from the knock-on, we go back for the advantage and a penalty to Edinburgh.
Met are seriously targeting the first receiver here. They're putting a lot of pressure. We've seen Fionn Owen there flying out of the line a fair few times, putting pressure on the first receiver. And that knock-on came from Edinburgh then, from that pressure. So something Met might be looking to do throughout the game here, just to target that first receiver, get them under pressure, put the whole line under pressure then.
Just a little bit about the teams for you as well, and few changes made to this Cardiff Met side, who are shaping up to defend this attack from Edinburgh. Denham popped to Holly McIntyre, the hugely impressive centre, having transitioned from scrum half at the back end of last season. We'll come back to the teams because the action's unfolding, and it's McCulloch taking Edinburgh forward. Space here on the left if Edinburgh can find the pass, and Denham is the player to do it, but slides forward and doesn't find the hands of Kieran Bell. Bit of warning to the Archers women. They need to keep an eye on those wide channels. Edinburgh keen to go edge to edge. And first sighting of the line-out, Sophie Licence Law missing her jumper. And Edinburgh with another chance to attack. Powerful stuff from Ayla Ronald. Nice shapes from Edinburgh. There are players, there are hands. Bruce is there, links up. What a shot though, to almost stop Torresata in her tracks. Eventually, muscularly brought to the floor by Mugabe. Well, not safely done so, in fact. And the yellow card is dished out to Jess Rogers, the former Wales 18 player, described as a collision queen, but on this occasion not looking after her Edinburgh counterpart well enough on the journey back to the floor.
She proved that title there, an absolute monstrous shot, an illegal one at that, but Met have put out their intentions for this match, being aggressive in defence so far. Just need to watch out that they don't spend too much time hugging in through that ruck and letting a lot of space on the outside, because that's where we've seen already the space is for Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, prime attacking real estate. What will Denham do with it? Goes out the back to Bruce, charging on. Recovered by Bell. Met have been all out defence since that Fionn Owen try. At the moment, they're surviving the test, but a bit of variation as Denham takes it herself. New first receiver in, out the back to Roberts, and again the passing not quite the precision that we're used to from the girls from Scotland. They are scrambling well though, aren't they? Little tip through the hole for Ronald. One of 9 Scottish Thistles in this lineup today for Edinburgh, and look at the physicality coming in from Clark. The Scottish international showing her international pedigree, but a long blast of the whistle and a penalty to Met. Well defended for the time being, but Edinburgh looking good on the ball.
They certainly are. We were talking earlier about the aggression Met was showing in defence, but Edinburgh are fronting up with their attack and showing equal aggression. And they're going to have to, especially coming down to Rugby 1, a renowned fortress, but Edinburgh are seriously looking up for this.
Stolen in the air by a leaping Eva Donaldson. But the ensuing squabble means that Met come away with possession. First time since that Fionn Owen try. And it'll be short-lived. Holding on the floor. At the moment, the penalty count just teetering the way of the visitors. Wonder what will be going through the heads of these Edinburgh players, knowing that that massive fixture between Exeter and Hartbury's unfolding. Donaldson. Lovely inside ball from Denham. Increased fluidity to this Edinburgh attack. Here comes Hannah McMahon. McIntyre out of the contact. Good hands, bit of strength as well from Bell, who swats away a couple of would-be defenders. Edinburgh seeking a response. Edinburgh in the hands of Fabrizio. Well, little dart, was that unguarded? Almost rear Clark through. Just a metre shy. Big red jerseys lining up in all parts of the pot, but that's brilliant defence, just as it seemed destined for Kieran Bell to finish the job. Still the Archers fight. Here comes Logan. No way through. Denham puts some width on it. Awkward pass for Ronald to take. But she's got some propellers on her, hasn't she? All the numbers out wide, just needs the killer pass and the finish. Paulina Torresata responds for Edinburgh. The Scots are level.
You could see that coming from a mile away here, Joe. We've seen the 10, Denham leading there. Because Met have been a little bit too narrow in defence for me. They've been letting the wide pass take out too many players, and then the space is out wide there, the overlap. That's killed them about 4 times already here. And Denham just guiding that Edinburgh attack forward and forward with just decisive, crisp passes.
Decisive, crisp passes. That's what this Edinburgh side are all about. We heard from Kira in the build-up about the Scottish desire to get the ball out wide and to the edges. The problem with that is it makes converting a little bit more tricky. That one doesn't find the target. And Edinburgh, just like Cardiff Met, take 5 from the try and we're level. Well, referee encouraging Cardiff Met to hurry themselves along. It was an injury to one of the Cardiff Met players which delayed them returning. Just looking around to see if a replacement has been made. See if we can get confirmation of that. But we're away, and it's in the hands of McCulloch, who enjoys clashing with opposition players in the contact, but stripped as she went to floor. Referee saying her knees were on the floor, so the tackle had been made, and just being informed by my ever helpful co-commentator Griff that Millie Jones is on wearing 21 for Cardiff Met. And again, Edinburgh look to find the paint, but just again that inaccuracy on the pass, Griff, rearing its head in attack for Edinburgh.
Yeah, they're pushing their width in attack, and it's helped them get that try, but it's also costed them a few possessions of the ball. So I think Met will need to put more pressure on their first receiver. I talked about they were doing it in the first few minutes, but Donaldson has had too much time on the ball really to make those decisive plays and spread the ball wide.
Well, Licensed Law is yet to find one of her jumpers at line-out time. Recently converted from fly half, so a lot of these skills are new for her. And her opposite number, Ayla Ronald, who's very, very adept in the loose with some fast feet, capitalises, and Denham links up with McIntyre. Loads of red jerseys beginning to line up on the left. Could that pass have gone well? We'll never know as Roberts is fouled. Good line speed from Fionn Owen, really putting pressure on Hannah McMahon. Is there a glint of light out the back door? Good soft skills from the Edinburgh captain. Step in from Bruce. Another involved in the Scottish senior future, so on that Scottish pathway that this university side just feels absolutely integral to. Well, Denham is forced to take contact with the Archers rushing up. McIntyre, nice hands, finding McCulloch, who finds the offload. Kieran Bell thought she was coasting in, but the one-handed offload slipped forward.
Met were in trouble there a few phases before. The full front row, the only 3 girls out. So if that ball would have gone wide, I'm sure, I back the physicality and the athleticism of the Met players, but it's a big ask. It's a big ask for 3 front rows to go against 6 backs. So Met need to be more agile on their feet and be more aware of the defensive line to spread out and start feeding the backs out to the outer channels.
A healthy touch found and the line's cleared. Third opportunity for Sophie Licensed Law to find her range. As I said, fly half transitioning to hooker this season. Played every game, the Masters student. That's a nice, I was going to say bit of variation, but the throw not travelling 5, can't catch a break at the aerial set piece at the moment, Griff.
No, a pretty poor decision there, in my opinion. They would have definitely been practicing that on the field, on the practice field. But here we go, Met are breaking away here with a loose ball.
Jess Rogers fly hacks through and no one seems able to claim it. Surely Paige Jones taken off the ball, and there'll be a yellow card as well. Kira McCulloch mistiming her tackle and deemed egregious enough to see her sent to the sin bin for 10 minutes. So 2 yellow cards within the opening quarter. Doesn't feel like a double yellow card match so far, Griff.
No, it doesn't. No, but Met have been quite lucky there with this yellow card. She did look like she was going to pick it up, but decided to hack it forward instead. So a chance here for Met, just on the edge of the 22, to extend their score of 5 and go into the lead, and they'll be hoping to do so, especially with Danae Mugabe back on the field, with Millie Jones going off and Seren Singleton going back into the 9 position.
Well, from precisely the same position that Met got their opening try. But this time, by the looks of things, Izzy Wallace, who's had a late change from 14 to 24, I can only presume, was the one taken forward. She's now rummaging around, looking for quick ball. Here's Griffiths. Griffiths almost sliding through a gap, but the defence solid from Clark. Carr, freshly returned from representation for the Welsh developments. Wow, that is fabulous breakdown work, isn't it? Clamping down so many maroon jerseys around that breakdown, but the one red one was the difference. Brilliant turnover in a dangerous area with Met building.
A good clearance kick as well to complement that great work in the breakdown.
Well, it is Ayla Ronald, the fresher, who is filling Ellis Martin's jersey from last year, the vastly experienced post-grad, with P15's representation for the Sale shot. So a new era, but Ronald already showing herself to be quite the talent in all facets of the game. Edinburgh here to play. McMahon. More good tackling. Just denying Edinburgh the opportunity to leave their 22. So Denham goes to the boot. And Tilly Smale, the Bristol Bear. Second appearance only for Cardiff Met. Flirting with the touchline. Too tight. Wrestled out. A good territorial win for Edinburgh.
I like her confidence running that back. Quite a disjointed chase, so she fancied her chances, and rightly so, as Reece Roberts said, one of the star players of this team.
Well, the Edinburgh backs finding safe passage across the gain line with too much ease. There's Ronald again, all action, the hooker. And one thing you can say about Edinburgh, maybe all the passes aren't going to hand, but they're the first to every bounce of the ball. They're the ones mopping up the mess and coming away with possession, as a cheeky transfer from Ronald to Clark takes Edinburgh into the 22. McMahon. Brilliant, brilliant turnover, surely by the Archers. It's a scrap to see who can wrestle it free. And eventually, the referee says Sophie Licence Law is queen of that tussle. And Met take the penalty. Little word with Captain Rosie Carr there, who herself also can play hooker. And this is what Edinburgh love. Broken field running, Mugabe with the big hit. To the halfway line we go. Possession stats richly in favour of these Scots girls. But Met doing well to hold their own. But have I spoken too soon as McIntyre links up with her captain. Logan, abrasive as ever. Another breakdown turnover from Licensed Law, but on this occasion, referee not happy. There may be some stern words coming also.
Met are seriously targeting the breakdown area here, but we're finding that they are bunching up too much to the ruck and therefore allowing more space on the outside, which you do not want to be doing against this Edinburgh side. You've got the likes of Denholm, the playmaker at 10, able to zit these passes out.
Here comes McIntyre on a piercing line to Bruce. Pirouettes out of the challenge. Edinburgh growing in confidence the more time they spend on the ball. Donaldson, wonderful hands the second row, always cropping up in that midfield, and here comes Torresata looking for a double. She gets it in the same corner. She bagged her first. Soft hands from the Scots girls. The result, their second try of the match.
Few stern handoffs here. Some brilliant play. 1, 2. And she's in a brilliant individual finish there from Tosata. She's certainly a one to watch for Edinburgh. If they're able to give her that space in the wide channels, she's certainly going to cause Cardiff Met a lot of trouble here, Joe.
Well, there's an illustration of some of the elements that we're facing down here at Rugby 1, which I will say are probably the best conditions that I've experienced in my many years of doing Bucks rugby. Not a drop of rain just at the moment. I was promised a dry day by Danny Milton, but windy enough to require a little bit of extra help on the placement, and almost Edinburgh had the extras. But to the relief of Met, the try remains a 5, and the score, Cardiff Met 5, Edinburgh 10. Maybe you could shed a bit of light on that, Griff. Why have we just seen a stuffed animal, a mascot in the crowd that looked like, I don't want to commit to what animal it was. I think it's because I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. Do you know anything about that?
Well, it's certainly a big day here at Cardiff Met with 2 double headers, but here comes Edinburgh.
Well, Holly McIntyre fancies going the length, but she is stopped emphatically by Danai Mugabe. Oh, a bone-shuddering hit from the left winger on the outside centre, who retreats to the back of the Edinburgh defence just to suck in a bit of diesel. A winding hit, goodness me. Holly McIntyre, one of the standout players for this Edinburgh side. 6 tries in the season. Thought she was on her way to a magnificent 7th. Slicing through. But watch out in your rear view wing mirror. Goodness me.
Well, Dana Mugabe's certainly stepping up there, coming off the wing and making a massive hit. Because McIntyre was rolling there. She was seriously churning out of what... Oh, here we go. Some of the Met boys here ahead of their game tonight. Surely looking forward to it. A big game against top of the league Bath.
Not straight from the line out. And yes, a sighting of the Met men. Captain Joe Cowell there, down at the bottom, having his bobble hat removed. I think admiring themselves on the big screen, which is quite simply irresistible for rugby boys, isn't it?
They'll certainly be more irresistible if they win here tonight in front of a packed crowd, I'm sure, seeing themselves on that screen.
All the stops being pulled out for the first ever WNL BSR double header at Rugby 1 at Cyncoed campus. And at the moment, their women are making a good account of themselves against second in the league Edinburgh. No real chance for Cardiff Met to be chasing a league title. In fact, there is no chance, but they will be keen to continue their season momentum that has seized them in fourth coming into this game. They'll have an eye on the playoffs. Remember, in the Women's National League, the first and second teams are guaranteed a home semi-final, and then the teams finishing third, fourth, fifth and sixth scrap it out in quarter-finals of sorts for the honour of travelling to those first and second place teams in the semi-final, with all roads leading to the Stonex in North London in April. It's a date in the calendar that every Bucks rugby side has, with a big red ring round in their calendar. Finals day just doesn't get any better. Edinburgh have been there before. Edinburgh came so close last year. And a win today will reaffirm their credentials for making it to the final once again. Chasing Hartbury, who play away at Exeter today. They won't have that result in their mind right now. They've got their own job. And they're doing it inside the Cardiff Met half with some fabulous hands once again, forwards and backs working in harmony. Rhea Clark, quick service. Referee comes back for a previous infringement, and the Scottish Thistle scurries over to take it quickly, but take a bit of pace off. But here comes Eliane Clark. Stripped in the tackle. Mugabe, the former 60-metre indoor sprint champion, off she goes, and oh, just clips the paint with what must have been just a slither of a stud. You felt the roar, you heard the energy when Mugabe got the ball, and oh so close to going the distance.
She certainly was, as you can see here. Oh, just a burst of pace and a little goose step at the end as well. So unlucky to be just dragged into touch there. But the Cardiff Met fans have certainly woken up now after seeing that absolute blistering run.
She's one to watch, Danai Mugabe. Formerly a hooker, now a wing. Fabulous try here against Hartbury earlier on in the season. I would say that Edinburgh have been served fair notice of her gifts defensively and attacking wise. Let's get the ball in her hands a bit and see her cut loose. McIntyre, lovely feet and give, but Bell can't hold on to the ball. And Griff, would you say Edinburgh second in the league with about 8.5 minutes left of this first half. Met just trailing by 5. They're going to be happy with their performance thus far?
I think Edinburgh are looking to be scoring more tries. They'll be a bit disappointed by not scoring more, really, because as you said, a lot of errors have been creeping into their game. They've been playing a lot off 10, which has allowed them to play wider than Met have have expected, but have been able to handle at the moment. And I think they'll be just keep that going, because they are causing the Met defence a lot of trouble so far, with Met not being able to defend those wide channels adequately.
Lovely shapes from the Cardiff Met attack and bringing in Izzy Wallace. Just a show and a straightening from Natalia Barnes. First time in a while that we're saying the Met women's names in attack. Slow ball. Few replacement jerseys on now. Reese Roberts shuffling the deck to add a bit of impetus. That's a nice ball off the boot, but probably Em Griffiths would have liked that to have stayed in play.
A good idea, nonetheless. She saw that space in behind. Torrister had come up into the line, so she spotted that. Lovely dink in behind. Just turning that Edinburgh defence, making them work.
Well, Met have stolen that. Paige Jones, the beneficiary. And just by the clustering of jerseys, Met look like they might like to keep this tight. Getting some purchase as well. They know Edinburgh like to play wide, but Met showing their muscle up front. Here's Nat Roach. Fionn Owen, one-on-one, tries to run over her opposite number, but picked up, put down. Brilliant hit from Rhea Clark and lost forward as well. David and Goliath in terms of the physical profile. And the Scottish Thistle scrum half. Well, should be pleased with that.
Certainly, we're seeing here. And here he is. The mascot from Revs. We'll certainly be seeing that tonight, maybe. A few of these going out to Revs.
Revs have a mascot?
They have a mascot.
Wow.
He's a big personality here in Cardiff. The Revs Hippo.
Never too old to learn, eh? The Revs Hippo. Well, there's a counter-ruck coming in from Nat Roach. And loads of pressure on the Denham kick. The skewed ball proving too tricky to take. And a knock-on from Met. This is good pressure from them coming into the closing minutes of the first half. What a boon it would be to get another score on the board.
Certainly, to come level at this point, just before the half, would be massive for the Met confidence. They haven't had lots to cheer about except for that early try they have had. And I think if they're going to be scoring just before the half, it'll be through their defence and hard work and putting Edinburgh under pressure. So a big chance for them here.
Well, that's the half. Is that the half, or is that a stop in play for the injury? A stop in play for the injury. I mixing my whistles up.
Easily done. There's a lot of refs that like their whistle. That's for sure. And no one's sure sometimes.
Well, just the briefest of pauses for Kira McCulloch. A tough old girl, the Edinburgh number 8.
I'm hoping to see Em Griffiths get the ball in her hands here, attack that line. Maybe we'll see a strike move.
That's if they can secure the ball, and they do. Griffiths, as you said, strike ball to Grace Eckford. Not many metres. Mugabe lurking out on that left wing. Doesn't get it as Smale dances inside. Some tight carries. Satterley showing her hands out to Roach, who juggles and just about regathers before being pounced upon by red jerseys. Oh, too much pressure on that pass with Paige Jones running a line. Edinburgh breathe again. They're under real pressure here.
Roach has made an impact since coming on. She's been carrying hard. She's been staying out quite wide from the ruck, which might cause a bit of trouble and confusion for the Edinburgh defence.
Edinburgh still under the pump. McIntyre carrying direct as she weaves inside, and again her offload sliding forward to Bell. Just not quite that timing existing between the two Thistles yet. And Cardiff Met have another bite at the cherry in the Edinburgh 22. They need to convert one of these opportunities, you feel?
Certainly, they've been down here in the 22 now a few times. We're seeing their Edinburgh not quite paying off, running out of their 22. I think that might have been the wrong option in my opinion, because Met have got the strong Fiona Owens getting it to Seren Singleton. They like this blind side, don't they?
So Seren and Singleton wearing 24. Katie Carr, one of the Carr twins, driving Met forward, and a penalty. Oh, that is going to be tough to take for Met. As he said, that play just energising the Cyncoed crowd a little bit. But the optimism taken away by a shrill blast from the referee.
Met need to be cutting these mistakes out if they're going to have any chance of coming back and winning this game. They're 5 points down at the moment, and that would have been a great chance for a score, especially in front of the post there. But unfortunately, discipline yet again letting them down.
The Scots aren't off the hook completely. Still in their own half. Ayla Ronald, so impressive in the loose, finding Donaldson, and those drills are really slick. Fabrizio. McGinley, the back row coming to the fore as Edinburgh look to work their way out of their half. McMahon takes a few to stop her. Denham to Bell and evades her grasp. And this time, that is the half-time. Referee calls an end to a tightly contested opening first half in the Women's National League. There is just a score between these two. Cardiff Met 5, Edinburgh 10. Griff, what's your reflection on that opening half with your Met hat on first?
Met hat on. I think they can do better, in my opinion. They started off really strongly with the first few minutes, or first minutes it might have been, Fiona Owen able to run in behind from the base of the scrum. So an impressive first few minutes, but Edinburgh with their wide play, with the ability to spread the ball wide and channel, get into this 15 channel. It's costed Met, and so I think EC Cantrell might be a good option to come on in this second half. get a bit of direct running and direct defensive play, stopping the Edinburgh attack. That might be a good option, but yeah, we saw them then right at the end of the half scuffling 2 chances in the Edinburgh 22, 2 important chances as well, because if they would have had a score there, they'd at least be going into the half with level scores at 10. So yeah, a positive but yet a solid place to a solid stance, let's put it that way.
A solid first half from both these sides, who of course are vying for greater glories than just today's match victory. They want to be at the finals. They want to be on the road to the Stonex.
Every game, every minute does not matter. It is the here and now, and that's why we love Cup Final rotation.
Long over the top to his namesake.
Romajeng stepping away, drives towards the line.
Hartbury, who are the queens of Bucks women's rugby.
The green machine explodes. Back Super Rugby bleeds green.
The try is given.
Now is this space on the left-hand side. Beautiful ball, great finish. Rydian Williams.
Here goes Larry Davis, dances inside, frees herself and drops it down to level the score.
Pitchside at half-time in this fixture with Matt Iarwyth Scott, a member of our Cardiff Met men's rugby team. Matt, thank you so much for joining me. What did you make of that first half? It was a very physical encounter through my eyes.
Yeah, it was a great half of rugby, to be fair to them. Both sides acted quite tough. You know, quite close score line. You know, Edinburgh top 2, I think, and we're down about 5th. But no, the women are going well.
Absolutely. And so when you look out there as a forward yourself, what would be your mindset potentially going into that second half?
I think they need to. I think they need to carry a bit more infield. You know, we're passing it out wide, but we're just running outwards. So a bit more direct. Pin them in the corners of this wind. I think we'll benefit a lot from line out and get a bit of change out of that.
Absolutely. Now it's not just the women's rugby match that we've got here on campus today. We've got your men's rugby match straight after us. This is a 3 Nations double header after all. How are you feeling about this matchup against Bath, who currently sit top of the table?
Yeah, I know that Bath have sort of sneaked up on everyone. You know, they were 5th, 6th a few weeks ago, but now up top table. So it's, you know, it's an open league. They're a great side. You know, they've got a lot of Bath Academy boys. But no, we're just hoping to put it right from last week. You know, our discipline let us down, and hopefully do a job over them tonight.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like you're pretty determined to do the job over them this evening, and I know that I'm very excited to see what the Archers can do against their varsity rivals. Buzzing about later. I'm very excited, but there are some other Bucks Super Rugby fixtures and Women's National League fixtures that have already kicked off today. So in the Women's National League, Exeter are playing Hartbury currently at the moment, and Exeter are currently down 15-24. But in Bucks Super Rugby, the league affecting you guys, Matt, Beckett just lost to Exeter. They were drawing 17-all, but the final score there was 17-24, and Nottingham have lost to Durham 14-29. Matt, how do you feel about this evening after that?
Yeah, well, you know, Exeter last week we thought they were going well, but obviously Beckett drew them close, and Durham, that's an unusual result for them. But no, excited for tonight.
Amazing. Right, we're going to head straight back up to commentary now for the second half of Cardiff Met versus Edinburgh.
Do you want us to talk? Okay. Well, thank you for that little bit of half-time looking ahead. And we're back into it in this second half. And Edinburgh right on the doorstep of Met very, very early from the kick-off. What a spot to launch a strike play from. Denham at the ready. But Kieran Bell, the arch finisher, lurking on the left with a big blindside to work with. They don't go that way. It's a switch inside. McIntyre on the slice. Has she got it down?
Big play from Met there if they've kept this out. I think they have.
Well, that is massive. Massive defence. It was well set up by Edinburgh, and you wouldn't want anyone out other than Holly McIntyre to be flying through that gap, but she couldn't get the ball down. And that error compounded by another knock-on from Kieran Bell, who's not having her best day in terms of ball handling.
No, unfortunately not, no. She's been hugging this touchline in attack, and the ball's been coming out to her, but she hasn't been able to keep hold of that ball, and now she's knocked it on and got Met back just about on their 22, so a chance for them to clear it or to attack it. Seems like they're going to attack it with their formation here. But yeah, just keep on putting pressure, I think. If you're M. Griffiths, keep on putting those dink in behinds. Turn Bell and make it work, I think.
Yeah, the pressure remains on Met. It was the Edinburgh scrum that was in the ascendancy in the first half. But that's a lot more solid. And Seren Singleton will have a burrow and then set her backs free. Good manoeuvres in the midfield, but stripped, and McIntyre looking to make amends. Has a little show, and then out the back door to Bruce, who comes steaming on, then dispossessed. No, neither side truly cherishing possession at the moment. It is as open as you like. And eventually we'll come back for the knock-on as we take a look at this.
McIntyre is silky smooth here, making that half break and just getting that out the door backhand offload.
Can I have McIntyre?
And she's been superb so far, running those lines, causing all sorts of problems for the Met defence. She's changing the lines up. She's got great footwork and great strength, and we can see there as well some great handling skills.
The Met scrum is solidified. And again, well, that's good footwork, but a double hit in the midfield, led by Roberts. Big swinging left boot, picked out by Torresata. On a hat-trick, the Swedish Sevens player. Interesting story of how she arrived in Edinburgh. First injection from Alex Stewart, the fresher, studying law and politics. Kira McCulloch. Natasha Logan fends one off before she runs into the sizable frame of Nat Roach. Donaldson, this sort of pivot playing second row. Lovely distribution presence in the midfield. Unmistakable with that shock of blonde hair as well. Well, Edinburgh too exuberant in their desire to clean out that ruck. Off their feet they go. And a chat to both captains, presumably, about the frequency of penalty offences at the moment.
Yeah, both teams targeting the ruck at the moment and illegally just diving straight over a blatant penalty there. So I think this both teams actually need to clean up in the ruck. Maybe they're getting a bit too fixated on trying to win that ball, and they're not concentrated enough on spreading out.
Well, that was a glimpse of, I believe, E.C. Cantrell, the club captain, who is primed and ready to come on later in the game. Part of your broadcasting degree, am I correct in saying that?
She is. She's a third year with sports media, so maybe she'll be coming into the gantry next year. Who knows? But no, she's a massive impact player. Any team in the league would want her coming off the bench, and I think she'll be coming on later and looking to make a massive impact, because she's a massive tackler and a massive carrier of the ball.
So all action personnel locked and loaded on the respective benches. And there's certainly opportunity for whoever does come on, because at the moment, it's a bit of a stodgy period of the game. A lot of errors, no one really putting their hand up to take the game by the scruff of the neck.
That's why I think maybe a Seb coming on would want this chance to put their hand up, give me the ball. I'm going to change this game. So it's up to someone on the field, or it's up to someone on the bench to make this impact.
Well, here we go. Is Izzy Watt? That's not Izzy Watt, that's Tilly Smale, who's still weaving her way through the Edinburgh defence. She picked it up in her own half. Too elusive, too fast. Tilly Smale with a solo dream effort levels up the scores. What a try.
What a try from Tilly Smale. She saw her pace. She backed herself. She's going towards the touchline at one point. I thought she was going to give this to Mugabe, but she backed herself, going round the fullback and kept on going. Incredible pace. That's why she is playing for the Bristol Bears. An incredible talent and an incredible try. She has been the one to step up, as I just mentioned there. We were talking about someone that needs to take this game by the scruff of the neck, and she has done so. Stepping up, taking that ball, and doing it all herself.
The kick to take the lead had the longest deliberation about whether it wanted to go over or not. Eventually it says no. 10 points apiece. Met right back in this, levelling up the scores. That's an extraordinary conversion. I'm not sure I've seen anything like it.
No, neither have I. I think Tilly Smale scored a try in less time than it did for that ball to land on the ground.
Met revived. Nat Roach, very, very prominent since coming on, adding her physicality. And Met beginning to fly the ball through the hands and looking to find, understandably, Tilly Smale. Big carry from Paige Jones. Smale again popping up. Looking to link with Mugabe. Two flyers stacked here on the left-hand side. Fionn Owen, who started it all. Scored the winning try for the Welsh development against the Scottish Thistles at Scotstoun. Not 10 days ago. I wonder whether she could repeat history against her Scottish counterparts today. We have a long way to go before we get to that stage of the game. But Met, all of a sudden, looking a lot more comfortable and a lot more ambitious on the ball.
Seren Singleton has impressed me a lot since the start of the second half. She's been playing well all game, really, after a short stint on the wing. She's been very good getting quick ball to the backs.
Well, Hannah Walker linking up with Eva Donaldson, who is like an auxiliary centre, and here comes Paige Jones. It's fast and loose from both sides at the moment as Edinburgh regain possession. Denham just spots a glint of light for a moment. Culloch does excellently to stoop low. Clark. McIntyre finally manages to link up with her winger, who slams the anchors on and then speeds back up. Abby Bruce barging her way through up deep into the Met 22. Donaldson, first receiver, so comfortable on the ball the second row. But she finds herself isolated. That's a massive turnover.
That's an excellent turnover there, under so much pressure. We were seeing Roach coming back slowly from the previous break. We had a disorganised defence, so that's a massive, massive turnover there.
Hannah Walker, who made that bust up into the 22. Speaking to Claire Cruikshank about her, she just said wheels. Wheels. And just a bit of a glimpse of those wheels turning pretty fast. A lot of pace on this pitch now between the likes of Walker, Smale, Mugabe, McIntyre, no slouch, Torresata with 2 tries. You just wonder, as the game breaks up increasingly, whether those little avenues could be sped through by some of the pacey players still in contention. Well, that is about power from Barnes. Captain Carr across the halfway line, losing the ball. And Donaldson throws that big left fend out and then goes back for a bit more. Power and guile, lovely combination. The Scottish second row Smell, well positioned, but then well tackled by McIntyre. Griffiths doesn't quite find the connection she would have wanted, but it's still tricky for Bruce. Mugabe still coming. Oh, big high shot. Double hit. You wonder, you hope everyone's okay. Donaldson, the work rate, the amount of contact she's getting on the ball as Denham goes up and over the top to McCulloch. Big clear outs, big shots, physios on the pitch. It's harem-scarum stuff. And eventually, play's called to a halt.
The physios panicked there a bit, I think.
A replay of the big shot involving Mugabe.
But both teams here quite equal in the second half. We've seen that incredible try from Tilly Smale, but it's been quite equal so far, and we see that with the scoreboard as well.
Well, this is Smale, well positioned and collecting, showing her defensive nous. And Smale has actually left the field as well. That's her last contribution, the try scorer, but certainly the contribution that will live in our minds was that fabulous solo finish. Denham, nice shapes. McIntyre on the outside arc, has Mugabe in pursuit. 2-on-1, needs to be executed, but Mugabe keeps on coming. Brilliant dogged defence from the Met women. Edinburgh, smelling blood. Level at 10 apiece, looking to lurch back into the lead. Denham's options briefly shut off, but good adjustment, and Clark through the gap. But again, the penalty going to Met on their 5-metre line. They've been supreme in these desperate areas so far in this half.
Sophie Lysons has been causing a nuisance with the Edinburgh attack, with their ruck. She's been finding those pockets, she's been slowing the ball down, she's been stealing the ball and causing all sorts of trouble.
Well, it was beautiful shapes from Edinburgh, but what about the dogged determination of Danai Mugabe?
Yeah, she's been excellent so far, showing her pace and matching with McIntyre, which is no mean feat, as McIntyre has got wheels on her as well. So yeah, Danai Mugabe has been excellent defence, stepping off her wing and making some recovery defensive tackles, as she just did there.
Yep, a 60-metre indoor record holder at under 18 level. So there's no question marks about her explosivity. And while being one of those players that you kind of earmark for attacking brilliance, it's really been at her defence that has stood out. That massive shuddering shot on Holly McIntyre in the first half, and then the determination to hunt down Paulina Torresata. Oh,
the ref's hippo,
he's
so
back.
He's enjoying himself.
He's back.
It's a nail-biting game, but I think he's quite chill. He's enjoying himself.
You just feel that the Rev's hippo is celebrating win or lose. He's supporting rugby today.
Do hippos like fish and chips? Because of the fish and chips van down there.
I don't know. That's it's a question I didn't think would be posed to me when flying down the M4 earlier today. Well, although it's possession to Edinburgh Uni, the crowd quite noisy and enjoying themselves. So Net, they're taking the ball and they look to sneak down that blind side. I wonder what just unfolded.
A good initial drive there.
Denham to McIntyre against the grain, scything through, finds Denham in support, who finds Torresata. The Swede bags herself a hat-trick on Rugby 1 at Cyncoed. It had to come. Denham and McIntyre, the architects of the break. But Torresata, the deadly finisher.
Some excellent running lines there, Joe. Denham running off the McIntyre break. An excellent line from McIntyre as well. A bit of a dog leg there. Disjointment between the backs and the forwards. And Torresata, the beneficiary from that, with a third try of the match. McIntyre has been superb so far, making those runs, causing all havoc in the Met defence. So seeing here, EC Cantrell leading the Met back to the halfway line. They'll be looking to her now as club captain to lead them back to level terms and push on maybe to win. So yeah, we're hoping from a lot with EC Cantrell on the field, the defensive powerhouse.
A chance for Met to respond immediately. Fionn Owen's off. Fionn Owen is more than off. She's rampaging in the Edinburgh backfield. 5 metres shy, the Met women go. Song bursts out in the stands of Rugby 1 at Cyncoed.
There's a bit of space here for Izzy Wallace.
Well, she senses it as well, right on her tiptoes, calling for the ball out wide on the right. Still Met pick and go, driven back Katie Mackay. Edinburgh have done so well to spoil that opportunity for Met, and this transition looks dangerous. If McMahon can find her support, she does so, but forward pass.
Edinburgh are a bit too ambitious in the 22 for my liking. They've got a brilliant kicker in Denholm, but they're not using her at the moment. They back themselves to run out the 22, which, to be fair, they have been having a lot of success with their running game, but I think be safe there, get it off the park. And now Met have a chance deep in the 22 to level the scores, and they certainly be hoping to do so as well.
Almost centre field, in the heart of the Edinburgh 22. Fiona Owen goes on another charge, just about dragged down by her laces. Desperate defence from Edinburgh, forces the knock on, and the opportunity goes again.
With every mistake that Edinburgh does in their 22, Met seem to match them and do their own mistake.
Well, there you go, the great and the goods of Welsh rugby. Sue and Lily Crapp there, watching on, interested in some of these young Welsh charges, a number of them involved with the Welsh development, who themselves have been involved in the Celtic Challenge. Narrow victory over the Scottish Thistles up at Scotstoun. So there's that's a bit of a loose ball out the back. But that's because Rhea Clark was receiving some pressure from an offside Met player. And you're right, Griff, Edinburgh want to play, Edinburgh want to run, and they'll do so through Ciara McCulloch. Teacher on placement at the moment, PE student. McIntyre on that arc and showing her hands as well. She's becoming increasingly prevalent. And here are those Walker wheels. Can she finish the job? Almost as she weaves inside. Pop off the floor. Still Edinburgh alive. Denham doesn't give the pass, but drops her shoulder instead. Composure required. McIntyre on the ball, tucks it under one arm. Stolen by Met. Emily Joyce in and on and making a difference, the fresher. The front row showing her old back row skills. Another player who's converted position. And Met breathe a sigh of relief.
We're seeing a brilliant run here. An excellent step, but maybe just trying to do too much. The pass on the inside would have maybe run them in for their fourth try of the game. Maybe trying to emulate Tilly Smile with an excellent run. And Edinburgh wants one for their own.
There's EC Cantrell on and making a hit early. Power through the middle coming from Roberts. Torresata was surfing the shoulder, looking for a fourth, but she doesn't quite get it, and Met break away. Seren Singleton in that 24 jersey. Donaldson, he may as well be a centre. There goes Walker again, this time showing the fend. Rhea Clark. Again, seeking space down that left wing, the inside, the outside, and the defence, oh so good. Walker was reaching,
excellent
but
defence.
she couldn't find the line, and off Met go. Oh, knocked on from the quick line out. Looked to be the right call as they caught Edinburgh napping. Just that knock on. It's going to put a huge amount of pressure on the Met again.
I like their ambition, going from their own line, trying to go coast to coast, 5 points down. But they've got plenty of time, Met have. They've got 15 minutes at least. Just keep on digging away here. But they've conceded another scrum from poor handling. Here we're seeing another run and a brilliant defence from Griffiths there. Just chasing her feet. Saving Met from going 10 points down at least.
Well, there's no denying that Hannah Walker's added a fair bit of excitement since she's come onto the field. Absolutely rapid.
As you said earlier, there's a lot of wheels on the pitch here. And is serving for a brilliant match then. It's been quite an equal game so far, I think. Both teams serving a lot of penalties and making a lot of mistakes, but also equally ambitious in their attack.
Denham inching forward with anticipation to receive this from Clark. McIntyre not given the ball, and Torasata bounces off her chest and met her away and turning Edinburgh around. Hannah Spear, another replacement with a bit of gas on, but not enough room to inject it. Clark goes to Ronald. Spin on the ball again. Denham, McIntyre on the switch, loses it as well before the hit gets made. Just a bit low for her to pick up, travelling at that speed. There is opportunity if someone can take it. All it needs is a gap. Wow, that's a big hit coming in from Grace Eckford. Muscular stuff in the contact. Ronald dances inside, but soon enough, she's clattered by Fionn Owen. Mackay. Good pressure on Natalia Barnes. Nothing to do but just retain the ball. Big swing of the left boot. And Abby Bruce is thinking about going wide, but then takes it on herself. And again, Edinburgh guilty of this a couple of times. Siobhan McGinley not happy, appealing to the referee as she is getting up, but quite clearly there indicating Edinburgh going off their feet.
The ruck has been an Achilles heel for both teams at the moment. They're getting penalised time after time. Met will be looking to attack here, I think, because they're going quite wide with two forwards out.
Ayla Ronald is off, Polly Peterson is on, described as an English fresher. So one of the 5 freshers in today's match squad, but the one hailing from south of the border. The fine art student gets sucked into the driving more straight away. Millie Jones down there doing a bit of digging. Fionn Owen has a nice big run up and almost busts through the gap. Looks to be a turnover to the girls in red. And immediately they all start retreating, looking to give themselves some depth, some width. Denham inside to a rampaging Alex Stewart, and still she goes. Well, that is a meeting of confrontational individuals there in the middle. Cantrell, the one to bring her down, wearing 23, not 19.
Rhea
Clark, yeah, as he said, spots a chance down the left-hand side. It is advantage to Met. And you just feel with 71.5 minutes played, the longer that Met stay in this match, the more belief they'll be fueled with. They're only 5 points down.
I think they're doing excellently well so far. We've been seeing there Alex Stewart making a break, but the Met are really, really tenacious in their defence. They're chasing after them, they're getting back, and everybody's getting back into their defensive line. So there's a ton of spirit in this team, and they'll be certainly looking to draw this game, maybe even go on ahead.
Smales back onto the field and back running that pacey arc. Wide we go to Met, inside, outside, off she goes. This is super speed from Seren Singleton. And a huge try to get Met back on level terms.
A massive try there from Seren Singleton, showing pace, going down this left-hand side with a serious step in and out, leaving the Edinburgh defence discombobulated. Bang off that right foot and going straight down parallel to the line, showing excellent speed. And this Edinburgh backline is no slouch. They have got pace in that backline, but an excellent set play move here to spread the ball wide to their danger women, who they know are game changers. And Seren Singleton is certainly one of those.
Well, you can see the grin from ear to ear through the back of her head there. Seren Singleton with a try for the highlight reel. And captain E.C. Cantrell potentially with a kick for the core memory bank. The club captain nails it. And for the first time since Fionn Owen barged over in the opening 2 minutes, Cardiff Met are in the lead with just over 5 minutes left on the clock. A grandstand finish awaits Griff.
A massive kick there from E.C. Cantrell, the club captain stepping up to the mark. But Met will have to have massive intensity, massive tenacity in their defence now to keep this Edinburgh attack from crossing the line. Because I'm sure they'll be putting everything in this attack.
Edinburgh are in possession, just what they need. Kira McCulloch. The Cardiff Met sails billowing with belief that they can register their first ever WNL victory over Edinburgh, leading by the most slender of margins. Edinburgh likely will have to score a try. Kicking not really in their DNA. Clark to Denham, to Bruce, who just about finds Torresata. High risk for the reward. Peterson. Anxious times for the Archers women and their supporters, but stripped in the tackle. Who's coming away with that one? Rhea Clark still grapples for it, but it's Met who come away and they counter. Oh, penalty to Edinburgh on the 22. And a bit of chat back as well, then marched a further 10. Does this make the range kickable?
Cardiff Met have got to be squeaky clean in this 22. They cannot let Edinburgh have a whiff at all. Edinburgh have been causing, well, they've been conceding a lot of penalties throughout the game, so have Met, which means, in my opinion, if Met keep their discipline, I think Edinburgh will concede a penalty or a mistake. So I think it's down, this is down to Met. Are they going for the kick, Joe?
Kira McCulloch leads the field, the Warrior number 8, the 4th year. And it doesn't look like a decision has been made just yet. The Edinburgh players fan out. Rhea Clark approaches the referee, and it'll be from a tap. Grandstand finish incoming with minutes on the clock. Met have stolen it. But Edinburgh aren't making it easy for them to escape. Composure required. A big right boot into centre field. This is prime time counter-attacking opportunity for Hannah Walker, who goes over the top, but the pass evades Holly McIntyre. A roar from the stand on Rugby 1.
I was a bit nervous there, seeing the space out on that far left. But the Met defence, led by E.C. Cantrell.
Well, look at those faces. That tells you everything. That tells you. Just, there's a little one in there as well. The determination of the Met defence with Edinburgh under pressure. They're not out of the woods yet, though. It's a long way to go for Edinburgh. And they have a penalty. Rhea Clark scurries over, looks to drive the tempo. Off and away we go. Minute and a half remaining of the match. Cardiff Met in 4th place, leading Edinburgh. They've only tasted defeat against Hartbury this season in the WNL. Last year's finalists. Donaldson, nice footwork and takes it to the line. Met looking to jackal at every opportunity. McIntyre injects herself into the line. Can she be the difference? A smuggled offload is fumbled by Torresata. Time eking away from Edinburgh. And a famous victory closing in for Cardiff Met.
They've got to just keep ball here, keep discipline. This is about composure here. They have to have the leaders step up, lead the young girls to make sure that they follow in the footsteps of the 3rd years, of the leaders and the captains.
Tense times, our clock's up. The referee may have a second or two more. The ball goes in and Met still have to play. It's a nice, hard, purposeful line. Back into the heart of the Edinburgh forwards. The captain takes another carry, ball squirts out, Edinburgh come pouring through. Still Met play. Still there seems to be time on Sir's clock. Rosie Carr, her sister Katie Carr, alongside her for the battle for this famous win. Potentially, if they can see it through, Natalia Barnes gives Abby Bruce one more chance to attack. Hannah Walker, can her wheels finish the job? Maybe her big right arm fend will do it. She battles to stay in the field, assisted by Torresata. The counter-rucking coming through from Cardiff Met, but the referee's arm is out for penalty advantage. Cardiff Met so close. Edinburgh fighting. Denham remains composed. Finds Torresata, this time on the left wing. Natasha Logan, more direct this time. It's just such a scrap at the breakdown every time. Alex Stewart, jacks inside. Denham to Donaldson. Back inside. Thinks about Peterson, but then changes her mind. Back to the left. Big tackles coming in from the Met women. Incredible ball retention from Edinburgh, who go to 4 meters shy. This is the moment. They'll do it without Denham because she's in at the bottom of the ruck. Eliane Clark. Titanic defence from the Archers women. Donaldson. Donaldson taking Met women across the line with her and finding a way to score the try. Red jerseys pour in. Heartbreak for Met. Eva Donaldson seemingly piggybacking 2 Archers across the line with her. Make that 3. Surely has won the match.
Heartbreaking for Cardiff Met. They kept them out for so long in that 22, but it just wasn't enough. Edinburgh with brilliant ball retention, as you said, but Cardiff Met unable to push them back as Edinburgh just kept on going forward. Big one-out runners coming in from depth, crossing that gain line each time, with a few massive hits from Cardiff Met, but it just wasn't enough. Heartbreaking for Cardiff Met.
Some injury concern here from that Donaldson try. And I'm just judging by the way that the Edinburgh girls have retreated to their half. They are expecting to receive a kickoff, so there may be another twist in this tale. I am going to ask you, Griff, to start thinking about your player of the match. You don't have to give it now, but here's Donaldson. All power, all determination. If there's a woman in an Edinburgh jersey who deserves it, it's Donaldson, who's been at the heart of everything. And a bit more of a relieved pack of faces there from the Edinburgh replacements. Still waiting for the conversion.
It's been an excellent game of rugby so far. Maybe the standard of some of the decisions made some of the errors made hasn't been of the highest class, but the intensity shown by these girls on the field today has been an advocate for the WNL being as big as it is, and it should be even bigger, because this game has been superb so far. It's going down to the wire, with Edinburgh scoring in the final minutes. And we'll see now if Met have got time to answer with their own try, because there'll have to be a try.
A first conversion of the afternoon for Edinburgh and Sarah Denham. 5 points the difference. Someone's telling me in my ear, potentially there's 2.5 minutes left to play, but we're just going to have to see. Met go short and try and test that Edinburgh reception team. They do really, really well to keep possession as it bumbled along the floor. Edinburgh looking to see out the game. Met looking for just any opportunity. Sarah Singleton, she almost thought she had the winning try, making the tackle, but there's who potentially has got the winner, Donaldson. Huge counter-rucking presence from Met again. They've been relentless in the close quarters and still they fight. Singleton in at the base, roared on by the rest of the women's section here at Cardiff Met. And the men looking ahead to their matchup. Bath to come. Remember, this is the first instalment of the double-header. Well, that's a nice line, and that's some more purposeful running from Met. Good offload off the floor. Here comes Natalia Barnes to take us across the 10. Theon Owen, who got it all started on minute number 2. Penalty to Met. Still they breathe, still they hope. Singleton to Owen, try scorer to try scorer. Loose passing, but the main thing for the home support is that Met retain the ball. This is good from Met, the best they've been in terms of continuity, and Singleton drives it from the base. So many numbers here for Met, if they can find the pass. Eckford almost gets all wrapped up by Torresata and Denham. 7 meters shy with penalty advantage. What a line coming in from Katie Carr. Up the jumper stuff for the next meter, but instead they lose 3. They had the penalty advantage. Met looked to go quickly, but it wasn't from the mark. Wasn't from the mark. Reset your pacemakers.
I thought that was behind the mark.
Well, here we go. Met with the tap. Met driving towards the line. Red jerseys trying their hardest to get their way under the ball. Held up. Final play, and Edinburgh rejoice. Defeat and dejection for the Cardiff Met women, who have pushed last year's finalists all the way to the death. They thought they'd done it. They thought the speed of Singleton had sealed it. But dogged Edinburgh and determined Donaldson were too much in the end. A fabulous match here at Rugby 1, and a fine, fine precursor to the men's match that will follow on this historic double-header day at Cyncoed. Full-time in the WNL, Cardiff Met 17, Edinburgh 22.
A devastating result for Cardiff Met. It was a brilliant performance, especially in the second half from Met. They played a lot better, and it was something, and they made sure that they were able to challenge second in the league, Edinburgh, one of the best teams around. They've been playing excellently so far in the season, but just came up short against the excellent Edinburgh. In my opinion, we've got a lot of options for man of the match, but we've got to go with Donaldson for Edinburgh. An absolutely outstanding performance from the vice-captain, helping leading the team, helping scoring tries, helping defend, and the biggest of them all, helping scoring that winning try with the conversion at the end as well. An absolutely superb ending to the match. A lot of other honourable mentions as well. Turrister, an excellent player in the league so far. She's had three tries in this game, a hat-trick. But Donaldson, an excellent performance. Thank you very much from the commentary team. We go down now to James in the studio.
Amazing, thank you so much, Griff and Joe. What a game of rugby we have just witnessed. A fantastic, super physical encounter between two absolute Goliaths in women's rugby at university level. How do you see that game?
It's a mouthful to talk through really right now, isn't it?
Breathless stuff. I think the touch paper was truly lit in the second half, in those closing moments, and I mean, at the moment, you just got to feel for Cardiff Met. That would have been such an enormous victory for them. They've never beaten Edinburgh in the WNL. The speed of Seren Singleton down this very touchline looked to have stolen it from a class outfit, but you have to tip your hat to the determination of the Edinburgh side and even Donaldson, who for me was incredible. The number of times that you say a player's name as a commentator tells you just their level of involvement, and she was in everything.
Absolutely. I mean, you singled out quite a lot of points I want to talk about there. Seren Singleton's try towards the end of the game, Met may have felt that would have won them the fixture. Talk me through what that's like to do out on the pitch. That's a really hard try to score. I mean, she made it look so easy, but it's far from it, isn't it?
Someone's obviously been telling you fibs about my acceleration during my playing days, because I've certainly never streaked down a touchline like Seren did then, and well, I think, it was not the first time that Edinburgh were opened up by the searing pace that Met have. We saw Tilly Smell score an unbelievable solo try from, beyond her 10 metre line. And I think Edinburgh are fated for getting the ball to the edges, but we certainly saw from Met there that they've got a bit of firepower out wide as well.
And with Met in mind, I'm going to bring head coach Rhys Roberts into the mixture. Rhys, you probably watched that probably just as tense as the both of us are now after watching that. What are your initial reactions to that game?
First of all, just what a product to have on live stream for the Women's National Leagues. I think Bucks Super Rugby, rightfully so, has the last few years the applaudance it deserves. But looking at that today now, hopefully everybody realises that the women's game as well as the men's is going to the next level within Bucks.
How are you feeling about your players after that fixture? Are you proud of them? Because in particular, Joe, you might agree with this, their red zone defence against Edinburgh on multiple occasions was absolutely outstanding, and you don't see that happen very often on a rugby pitch.
I think if you looked at the performance we played against Edinburgh last time compared to now, it's just a massive difference for the girls. We all understood that it was foundation year this year, a lot of transition phase. Loughborough last week put a good 40 points and they deserved that 40 points. And today, like I just said now, just what a product and what a turnaround for the girls. I'm really proud of them.
What's next for your team and your girls in camp now? Where do you take this feeling and how do you move on from this?
Yeah, we've got a week off next week, so good review of today, work on a couple of things which we need to work on and grow on the strengths in which we've got as well. So Joe has alluded to there, we've got some pace on the wing, so we just want to get those more in the game. And then we've got Durham away to finish the league campaign and then into knockout stages then.
Now, Joe, you must be itching to ask Rhys about this game, because you were buzzing with excitement up in that gantry. I must say, you were ecstatic at different points in the game, and we really felt the emotion through you.
How could you not? It was a scoreline that ebbed and flowed, right? And you're up against a seriously class outfit in Edinburgh. mean, you look at the way they play, but also look at their personnel. Like, there's fully fledged Scotland internationals in there, so you must be particularly proud about the way your girls weren't daunted by that.
Again, it goes back to just proud of both sides, really, of the product in which they produce for aspiring youngsters to watch this programme here, colleges or sixth formers within Wales, England, Scotland, and thinking that they want to be a part of this. And hopefully now, after today and more live streams from you guys, is that it's going to get bigger and better. So it's quite exciting, really, isn't it?
Well, I'm going to say thank you now, Reece. I'm going to bring in your club captain from today, EC Contrell, who's going to come and join myself and Joe now. If you stand in the middle of this, EC, a very, very physical game, a brilliant game to watch as a fan, but you must be slightly devastated on the inside after that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great game. The girls really played till the end, and if you look at our game from last week, it shows so much improvement, and we're just trying to improve so we can be ready for the knockouts.
There's so much more that this women's side can offer, isn't there? Just this was a glimpse, basically, today of what you guys can do. Are you determined to come back fighting next week?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this club is going so many places. This team, I think we really connected today, and this program is building, and I think we're going to be great in a few weeks. So.
Now, Joe, you mentioned a lot of stars out on that pitch today. Was EC potentially up there with some of your stars of the game?
Well, certainly nerveless with the conversion and a massive shot as well in the midfield. I guess I just want to ask you, as club captain, that pushing last year's finalists so far, so hard, and like right to the death there when you had an opportunity, that's got to fill you with confidence heading into the knockouts.
Yeah, like I said before, I think today we really connected here as a team. It was great playing them. I think it was a fantastic game. So much improvement from Loughborough, and we're just going to keep working hard.
Now, we mentioned with Reece very briefly as well about your red zone defence. I said to Joe about how it was exhilarating to watch, and you actually don't see it very often. Is this something that you've been working on over the weeks in training, and you've been progressively getting better and better at it?
I don't know. I think our team is always that's been like our specialty. If you watch the Hartpury game, though it was kind of a big score difference, if you watch our defense, it was really unstoppable. So I just think our girls are really disciplined, and I think that's just something we're natural at. So.
Well, EC, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining us. A brilliant game out there. Thank you for providing such a spectacle for us. We really, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see the women's team in action again soon in that knockout rounds after Durham. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Joe, now looking ahead across the league now, we've got the scores in from the Exeter-Hartpury game. Exeter lost 15-27 to Hartpury there. Is that a big deal in this Women's National League, seeing that result?
Was there a bonus point for Hartpury in there?
I'm not sure whether it was a bonus point.
I think if there's a bonus point in there, then that makes Edinburgh's capacity to win the league pretty difficult. I think that when it comes down to points difference, Hartpury are handsomely ahead of them. So I think that kind of wraps up the league, although maybe not mathematically. But as we just heard there from EC, that everyone's got eyes on the knockouts now. It's about taking form, about taking confidence, and taking experience from big moments like this into those knockouts and almost approaching it with a clean slate.
Who would you say then are your strongest sides looking at this Women's National League?
I mean, you could say it for any rugby product. You can't look past Hartpury, really. It's just this unbelievable rugby factory, and with Mo Hunt leading them so superbly in her first season as coach and taking the title, and the wonderful things that Gloucester Hartpury are doing in the AP15s, look at them. But Exeter have been fantastic. Obviously, Exeter beat Hartpury. So,
absolutely.
Don't
be shy, girls. Come in and join us. That was a fantastic game of rugby out there. How are you feeling? What are your initial reactions after that win?
A very emotional game, an emotional roller coaster, lots of good things, but just relieved in the end. Really, really proud of the girls that we stuck in there and fought right to the end, because it was close.
Cardiff are always such a physical game, and they really tested us there. So to come away with the win, especially in there at the end, holding it up, was just a really happy moment for us, as you can see.
What's a particular highlight for you guys in that game? Obviously, you scored some fantastic tries down this right wing here. You love to run with the ball in hand, it seems.
Yeah, we were looking to move the ball a lot, but I think we learned that we had to just carry and carry and carry, so that we kept hold of the ball and managed to score it, and to take the lead was perfect.
Yeah, I think the defence was probably a highlight for us. Not to concede that try at the end was highlight of the game for me.
It was nerve-wracking stuff, Joe, from up in the gantry. I mean, from on the sideline as well. Have you got anything that you'd like to ask them? Do you want to know the secrets, the dark arts of rugby up in Scotland that they've made work here on the Women's National League stage?
Well, I mean, I thank you very much for providing such a spectacle. Like, maybe not for my heart, you know, but I guess I'd like to ask, what did you feel was the difference there compared to when you played Cardiff Met earlier in the season? Because, you know, on paper, you look at the league table, you think, well, Edinburgh should come down here and win convincingly, but I mean, clearly it was anything but today.
Yeah, it was a very tight-fought game, and I think Cardiff really brought it to us. They've got a big crowd here, they've got all their support, and credit to them, they were a hard team to play against.
I think we know coming to Cardiff is always going to be tough. They're always going to take us to the line and really put their bodies on the line, and I think, you know, we just had to keep it going at that. It was a very tough match. It was never going to be easy.
Your face says relief.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Safe travels all the way back up. I know you've got a long plane journey ahead of you now, but thank you so much, and congratulations on the win again. We're going to now throw across to a promotion ahead of the next game in our double-header today, because it's 3 nations facing off, and next up in this Bucks rugby coverage is Cardiff Met versus Bath, varsity rivals in a Celtic clash.
Are you willing to sprint when the distance is unknown? And why chase this thing called winning? Because the only thing that's guaranteed in life, if you don't chase it, is losing. It's got Matty Stacey, who takes it to the corner for another try. Winning doesn't care how sore you are. Winning doesn't care how much sleep you get. Winning doesn't care how hard you work at times. And sometimes a guy doesn't outwork you and he still wins. It isn't fair, man. Sometimes there is no justice.